Oh, hey. First and foremost, what's up? It's Besa. Y'all, I know I've been gone for a minute, but I promise this time I'm really back with the jump off. So I just moved into my new apartment. All right, if you guys live in Washington State, I was staying in Renton, and I officially moved back to my home city of Seattle. Let's be frank, a lot of motherfuckers be like, oh yeah, I'm from Seattle, I'm from Seattle. Nah, bitch, you from Auburn, you're from Burien, you're from Kent, you're from Federal Way, you're from Tacoma, you ain't from Seattle. And that's no shade to anyone that does it. It's kind of one of those things where, like, when people are in certain areas around LA and they just say LA because it's a city that people actually know of, and then they don't have to freaking explain it. Like, a lot of the times you tell a motherfucker, yeah, I'm from freaking Kent, Washington, they'll be like, what the fuck is that? So it's easier just to say Seattle, although they're not the same goddamn city, like, at all. But anyways, I am so happy to be back in my city of Seattle. I freaking miss Seattle, although I hate the freaking traffic, alright? There's so many freaking bums outside. It's constantly stinking because I live downtown. But I wouldn't freaking trade it for shit. Like, literally, before I was driving a good 30 to 45 minutes to get to work. Now I am legit 10 minutes away max. Maybe 15 with traffic. Like, if it's 20, that means that I was just like not caring about traffic because I can always turn off somewhere and go around the traffic. But child, when you're 10 minutes away from work, and of course we're gonna get into this Besa roundup in a second, but when you're 10 minutes away from work, you can go home for lunch. I literally go home for lunch, and I don't allow myself to waste my money at work because we have like a little cafe downstairs, or I can just like Uber eat something. But no, I cook every other night or so, sometimes like once a week depending on how much I cook. But I'm able to go home for lunch, and it literally makes me feel like I'm at lunch, because when I'm not there, somebody can't come up to me and ask me something. Like, I'm literally at home and I'm not looking at my email. Like, it's freaking amazeballs. Any hooters and pooters. Now that I'm actually in my new apartment and I literally live by myself because I was not living alone before, I am able to do videos when I actually want to do videos, which is around, what time is it, like, yeah, it's like 11. Actually no, it's 10:10. And I just love doing videos at night. I don't know, I feel like at nighttime, that's when the news is a little bit fresher, if you will. Like, unless you want to get up at like 6 in the morning, I feel like news for the day is actually complete about 10 p.m. and nothing is necessarily going to be updated unless it's like an emergency. Feel me? Let's talk about Megan the fucking Stallion. Now, y'all know I love me some Megan the Stallion, honey. And that's on period. Miss Strong Knees, she be having me up in here twerking, trying to figure it out, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I've been telling everybody, once I learn how to twerk, I'm gonna start twerking at my different events that I'm hosting. But we not there yet. How we gonna keep this booty to ourselves, honey? So the other day, I go on freaking Instagram, and I'm seeing all these freaking reposts of Megan Thee Stallion in this bright ass yellow jacket. Basically, Megan Thee Stallion decided to blast her label because she's alleging that they will not allow her to drop any of her goddamn music. Check out the video. I'll be back.
So I signed with 300 because even though 300 is a independent label, it's still a bigger label. Like, in my head, it's like, okay, they're gonna be able to put my music in more places. Like, because I was still uploading shit like CD Baby, even when I was on 1501. So, I mean, I'm still on 1501, but even when I first started on 1501, I was still putting shit out through like little bitty ass distributors. So when I got with 300, it just happened to go to like a bigger scale. So, point blank period, now, on this day, I want to tell y'all that 1501 trying to tell me I can't put out no music. 1501 don't want me to put out no music. And I've been seeing a lot of little shit on the internet. Motherfuckers be talking shit. And it's real crazy because all I did was ask to renegotiate my contract. Then it became a big old thing. When I signed, I didn't really know what was in my contract. I was young. I think I was like 20. And I didn't know everything that was in that contract. So when I got with Rock Nation, I got management, real management. I got real lawyers. And they was like, do you know that this is in your contract? And I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. No, I didn't know. So I'm not mad at 1501. I wasn't upset because I'm thinking in my head, oh, well, everybody cool. We all family. It's cool. It's nice. Let me just ask them niggas to renegotiate my contract. Soon as I said I want to renegotiate my contract, everything went left. Like, it just all went bad. It all went left. So now they're telling the bitch that she can't drop no music. It's really just like a greedy game. Like, it's really just real greedy. Wasn't trying to lead a label. Wasn't trying to not give nobody money that they feel like they entitled to. I just want to renegotiate some shit. I'm not a greedy person. I'm not a person that like confrontation. I'm not a person that's a bitch. Like, I work with everybody, and I'm nice, and I'm real family oriented. But niggas gonna be niggas, and they gonna be greedy, and they gonna be shady. And I see the shit that people be that can't be saying about me, and I'll be like, damn. Well, since you got so much to say, why you just won't tell them? Why you mad? You mad because I don't want to roll over and bow down like a little bitch, and you don't want to renegotiate my contract. Niggas be like, oh, yeah, they made Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion was Megan Thee Stallion before I even got over there. I've been rapping, been freestyling, been doing me, been made. So how the fuck can y'all say a nigga made me? Niggas don't even care about what's right. They care about money in the end, and it's a greedy game, man. So y'all don't see no music from Megan Thee Stallion. It's because 1501 don't want to drop that music.
So in a nutshell, she's like, she wants to renegotiate her contract. They don't want her to renegotiate the contract. A lot of people are saying that the reason why they don't care to have her renegotiate her contract is because she hasn't even dropped an album. You know, I remember the last thing that she dropped, or maybe it was her first mixtape. It was one of the two. I feel like she did an interview with Charlamagne the God or somebody, and they were like, this is an album, and she was like, no, it's a mixtape. And they were like, what do you mean? And she was like, it's a mixtape. And then he was like, well, aren't these all original songs? And then she was like, yeah. And they were like, so why is it a mixtape and not a freaking album if these are all original songs? So she has not dropped an album. However, she signed a 4-album label deal, and within her contract she has a 60-40 split, which basically means the label 1501 gets 60% of her earnings. The other 40% of the earnings is her money. However, she actually has to pay artists, engineers, and all that other shit. So basically, to me, I'm not a freaking lawyer, so I don't fucking know, but it sounds like 1501, her label, aka Carl Crawford, aka former baseball player, aka Evelyn Lozada's baby daddy child, well, one of them, basically means that Carl gets all of his money up front. He's not paying back the engineers and the studios and the artists and whatever money that he spent on her. He's not taking that money to repay those people. He's taking his money off top. He's giving her the money and basically saying, this was a loan. Yeah, that studio session was $1,000 and you gonna pay it back when you get your check, and I'm gonna take my money. Because, I mean, let's be frank, if you invest in something or someone, you don't just want the money back that you invested, you want money and some. Like, what's the point of investing? At that point, that's just a savings with no interest. Like, what the fuck? When Megan got signed to Rock Nation, I want to say in like September, late August, one, Carl Crawford is alleging that she stopped talking to him. He's alleging that she did not tell him that she would sign to Roc Nation, and now Roc Nation is, this is what Carl thinks anyways, is trying to take Megan from him. So he's saying that, you know, Roc Nation has got all in her head, and that's why she's having all these issues with her label, because he doesn't even know what's going on, or he at least doesn't know why she's so goddamn mad. Check out this clip.
So now this is the next question. When Meg announced her management deal with Roc Nation, from my understanding, you found out the news the same time as everyone else, correct? Carl then says, the guy T. Ferris, the one who's helping with my business, was handling Megan for me. She's a girl, so he was used to being a road manager. I was letting him handle all the business, and he said, we're going to Roc Nation. We got a meeting. I said, okay, cool. We're going to get to meet Jay-Z. I'm actually excited because I get to meet Jay-Z myself. You know, we look up to this man. I said, what's going on? He said, ain't no big deal. He's just trying to show us around the building, little small shit. I'm like, cool. Do I need to be there? He was like, nah, you know it ain't that serious. I said, well, okay, cool. I didn't go because we were just on tour with her. Me and Megan were perfectly fine at this moment. Next thing you know, I'm on a plane and I'm thinking the whole industry is going to try and take Megan from me, but not my homeboy. So I go and link up with Jay Prince, Rap-A-Lot CEO. Next thing you know, the picture is posted up on the internet, and everybody's like, ooh, you bitter? No, I was already posting Jay Prince before, when I found out like everybody else. I got emotional and made one comment, and they took it and ran with it. Oh, he's bitter, he's mad. Look, I'm just trying to see what's up. I thought they had enough respect for me to at least tell me something. But it's cool. She didn't have to tell me about that. That's fine. But at the end of the day, tell them what their real plan was. Their real plan was to get you out of my contract so they can sign you to Roc Nation. That's all they wanted to do. We gave this girl a 60-40 split. Now go ask the artist about that. She got parts of her masters the first time. You think Jay-Z would have gave her a part of her masters on the first deal with Roc Nation? Fuck no. She's getting $100 grand and a show, and she don't want to pay up. That's what the issue's about. She signed to Roc Nation in August and decided that she didn't want to pay me no more. They're using that as a strong arm tactic so that I can renegotiate the contract. They're holding the money. They haven't paid me since August. She's done over 15 shows. Y'all do the math. She gets $100 grand a show. She owes me. I haven't recouped almost $2 million that were spent on her, building her up so Roc Nation could come around. Where was Roc Nation when we was grinding and riding around on them back streets? Roc Nation was nowhere to be found. Soon as we spent our money, blew it up, now all of a sudden these strangers and people you just met, they introduce you to Beyonce, and now we the devil? We were just angels sent from the sky. Now we're the devil just because Jay-Z saved you? You're so fake.
Now, if he's telling the goddamn truth, I would probably be a little annoyed my damn self if I found out that you signed to a new management deal and didn't even tell me. It's not even a matter of like asking for fucking permission, you know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of respect, you feel me? Like, if I'm gonna move around, if I were to get approached by a different radio station, because for those of you that don't know, I'm a radio host here in Seattle, Washington. I'm on 7 p.m. to midnight, Monday through Saturday, okay? You can catch me on Cube 93.3, iHeartRadio app, just type in KUBE 933 and I'll play, alright? Anyways, like, if another station hit me up, before I got to the actual contract process, I would talk to my boss. Like, if I'm trying to shop different stations, I'm gonna let my boss know, hey, I'm gonna tell my boss, hey, I'm looking at this station over in Atlanta. One, I'm gonna ask him if he knows anybody there, and two, it's nice just to give somebody a heads up, because if you just leave, what the fuck are people gonna do? Like, you know, I don't know about you, but I actually like my job, so it's not like, for me, I feel like I have to be sneaky about what I do, you feel me? So yeah, I definitely wouldn't just sign over to new management and not let my freaking label know. But that's just me. I mean, I ain't Megan Thee Stallion, sis. You can do whatever you want. Well, you did whatever you wanted. So now, though, I feel like because she did it in that way, That's why they're not trying to let her negotiate her contract. Now, they also could just not be doing it because, like I said, she hasn't even dropped a freaking album yet. So it's almost like, have they even recouped any of the money that they originally spent on Meg? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would they necessarily want to renegotiate anything when you haven't made all the money back? Unfortunately, when you sign contracts, they're kind of important to read. You feel me? I think it's one thing to be like, I didn't understand the contract. It's another thing to not ask an outside lawyer to check the contract. You know, honestly, it's actually ridiculous to not have a lawyer that's outside of that camp check out your contract. You can get something like Legal Shield for like, I don't know, $19 a month or some shit like that, and they will go over the fucking contract for you for free within your $19 a month. Like, I don't know why people don't take that time to protect themselves. I don't know what kind of an advance that she got. I don't even know if she got an advance, period. But what I do know is that if you need a fucking lawyer, go find you a goddamn lawyer. There are so many different options to where you can at least just have someone check it out for free. Like, maybe even just a trial. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just so that way maybe, you know, it's kind of like a taste of working with that lawyer. So it's honestly unexcusable, especially in 2020. No shame, Megan, girl, I love you, but you college educated, you fucking know better, sis. And if you didn't know better, you know better now. I just feel like there's so many freaking options for you to have a lawyer look at some shit before you sign some shit, and then all of a sudden you out here looking crazy talking about, oh, I didn't know it was in the contract. So you didn't ask somebody that would know? So you just took their freaking word for it? Sis, you're college educated. I really feel like you knew better. So it just makes it to where I'm just like, there's something I don't know. It's not necessarily my business. If it needs to be my business, it'll somehow pop out in the world. But yeah, you guys, you have options of free attorneys out here. And when I say free, I mean have them look at your work and you don't even have to pay them. And when I say you don't have to pay them, it's kind of like a trial. And you know, there's a lot of attorneys that literally will not charge you for anything unless you win something. So there's options, but motherfuckers just don't be looking. And I'm just like, can we all do better? Because shit like this shouldn't fucking be happening. Especially being that allegedly she signed to 1501 in 2018. So you telling me in 2018 you're still not properly reading your fucking contracts? Meg, I love you to death. And when you come to Seattle, I'm gonna need you to pull up to Q933 and go and come on Besa at night so we can chat about this. But sis, I feel like you knew better and there's something that you're not telling us. Those are my thoughts. This goddamn coronavirus really got me fucked up. And my hands are dry. Let me tell you something. Apparently, a 98-year-old woman becomes the oldest patient to recover from coronavirus. Here in Washington State, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but the shit is lightweight running rampant. But at the same time, it's kind of not. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not saying that it's not deadly, but what I'm saying is there's more people in this goddamn city with the flu and a common cold than coronavirus. And let's be frank, your ass can die from the fucking flu. Speaking of coronavirus, they're saying to stop buying masks. First and foremost, hospitals need it. Second of all, they're alleging that they don't really work. However, my question is, if they don't really work, why the fuck do hospitals need it? I'm kind of confused there. But anyways, I digress. The University of Washington Seattle campus is doing a petition to get the schools shut down so that way they're not spreading that shit all around. And I'm not really mad at them, you know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to shut it down for good, but at least shut it down long enough to where you can truly clean. And I'm not saying have your janitors come out and clean. I'm saying hire some goddamn people and have them spray it down. Like, have you seen the videos over in Iraq and shit of them spraying shit all over the place with white freaking outfits on, looking like freaking Ghostbusters, trying to make sure they get that bitch clean? That's what they need to do at every freaking school in this goddamn state. They actually need to do it at every freaking school in the freaking country, but I live in Washington State, so I'm worried about us right about now. No shame. You know, we are a state where apparently 9, maybe even 12 by now, I think I seen earlier, people have died from this shit. So yeah, y'all, 17,000 people have signed the petition to close down the freaking school. Close down the fucking school. Obviously y'all ain't cleaning up right for 17,000 people to be like, close down the fucking school and clean the fuck up. Like, I don't want that shit. Also within coronavirus news, they're saying that using Purell does not help kill it, okay? Using, what is it, the Lysol wipes that people said, yeah, that's the wrong strand of coronavirus. And that's also like why I don't even do flu shots. Like, I know some people are gonna be like, you don't get flu shots? No, I don't fucking get flu shots, because guess what? The flu shot is not for every single strand of the goddamn flu, which means I can get a fucking flu shot. The flu shot actually has a piece of or something within the strand of the flu within it to kind of help your body be used to it, and it helps you be quote unquote more immune to it because you've already gotten it in there somehow, some way. Look, I'm not a freaking doctor. I'm just telling you what I remember researching. And the issue is it doesn't take care of every freaking strand of the flu shot, and technically you don't even know the strand of the flu shot that you're getting the shot for, which is why sometimes people that get the flu shot still catch the fucking flu. So now, miss me with the bullshit. You're not gonna have my arm hurting for 3 days for no goddamn reason. What do I think about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union? Me? I'm really happy that they are in support of their daughter. I'm happy that they are trying to shine a positive light on this, because let's be frank, what was it, episode 1 season 1 of Empire, when Lucius threw his gay son or gay acting son in the freaking garbage can, everybody was absolutely fucking appalled. So yeah, I think it's great that they're supporting their daughter for what she is saying that she is, and the way that she feels, and what is her truth. Now, do I feel like they need to go on a fucking press tour about this? No, I do not. But I do think it's nice to see African American couples, parents, supporting their, you know, transgender daughter. That's not something that you necessarily see all the time. You typically see them getting thrown in trash cans and shits like that. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing, but I also don't think it needs to be lightweight exploited. But maybe Zion wants it, child. I don't know. I don't really want to talk too much about the Democratic debate, but Fat Tuesday just happened, and CNN is predicting Joe Biden as being the Democratic pick. So we will see what happens. Here in Washington State, our shit's not due until the 10th. You know, I also need to mention this. If you are in Washington State and you freaking vote, if you're like me, you have a freaking absentee ballot. Alright, I don't like going to polls. Like, I don't like waiting in lines. Like, I don't give a fuck where I'm at. I freaking absolutely positively hate lines. However, I don't need y'all knowing my government name. On our ballots, it says that you actually have to pick, I don't know if this shit's gonna focus or not, but you have to pick a Democrat or Republican on it. If you don't pick a party, your ballot does not fucking count. Alright, do you hear me? If you want to sit up here and be like, oh, I don't have to, fuck you guys, your ballot will not count. They've already thrown out over 23,000 ballots because some motherfucker didn't want to put Democrat or Republican because maybe they're liberal or some other shit. I don't know if there's other options. I'm not that political like that, but look, I know enough to have seen the freaking notification on my freaking phone when King 5 gave it to me. And it literally says, my mom ate King. My mom goes, hi, I made some chicken casserole. Do you want me to put some up for you? Yeah, one less thing I have to cook. Anyways, what I do know is that if you're in Washington State and you vote by ballot like myself, aka in your own goddamn home, without other people coughing around you. Like, fuck, I look like going and standing in a line right around now. Ew. You have to pick Democrat or Republican, or else your ballot will not fucking count. Alright? Don't be sitting here trying to be cute, trying to be that different person. They're not playing. I don't know why they didn't put all, at least other on there, but that's not an option. The option is Democrat, Republican. So pick one. I don't even necessarily think that it's I have to read it. I don't feel like reading it right now, but I don't even think that it's saying, are you Democrat or Republican? I think it's saying, are you voting? Okay, I lied. It says make one party declaration box required. There's a girl that actually talks about it. I think I seen the video on King 5. Her explanation of it didn't make any fucking sense, but there you go.
But these ballots are different.
They are different. This is a completely different election.
King County Elections Director Julie Wise points to state law for the unusual ballot request, naming RCW 29A-56-050, and the vote last year to move up the presidential primary to March 10th, which required a party declaration. What about the people who say, hey, I want to keep my party affiliation secret. I don't want to be judged because this is on the outside of the envelope. Why does it have to be on the outside of the envelope? Why not on the inside?
Right. It's really important in Washington state law and vote by mail that we keep your voter identity away from your ballot. And so in order to keep those separated, we're putting it on the outside of the return envelope.
And there's another thing. If you try to claim you're like Switzerland and have no preference, your vote will not be tabulated. And there are voters that are independents. What are they supposed to do if they're an independent?
This is a political party election, so we do have to follow the rules if you want your vote to count.
The good news for all those voters who would like to remain neutral, you won't have to check the box again in any other election this year.
Personally, I don't really appreciate this shit. I feel like it has literally my first and last name on here, and it's asking me to pick a Democratic Party or a Republican Party. Why didn't you put this shit on the inside? I swear this girl literally says it's so that it can be private. So if it's to be private, why wouldn't it be on the inside? Like, Washington State, I have questions. And the way shit works out here, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna storm in on a city council meeting, they do it all the time out here, and be like, what the fuck? It's none of your freaking business what I am. Like, anyways, like I said, if you are in Washington State and you are voting, especially if you are voting by ballot, I don't know what it is if you go to like the actual polls. I've never actually gone to a poll. I've always had my ballot sent to me. So if you're voting and you are voting by ballot like me, make sure you check the box. I'm not telling you which box to check. That's not my damn business. Check a box or your ballot will not be counted. Last I checked a couple days ago, it was 23,000 ballots were not counted because they did not check a box. Alright? Add me on TikTok. It's Besa, like everything else. Listen to me on Cube 933 Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're not in Washington State, you can catch me on the iHeartRadio app. Just search Cube 933. That's K-U-B-E. Add me on Instagram at Besa. Shit, everything is Besa. I try to keep it really, really simple. And yeah, I will be back with another Besa roundup real soon, child, because now I can do this shit whenever I want to because I'm not disturbing any fucking body. Well, my neighbors probably hate me though. So next time, remember to be your own vibe. Keep that energy high. Freaking sage if you need to. You know, I've been using my Dragon's Blood sage because I ran out of my regular sage, and it's basically sage dipped in Dragon's Blood. I don't have the energy to explain what the fuck Dragon's Blood is. Google the shit. Yeah. Keep your energy good. We are in a retrograde until I want to say March 9th. If you don't know what that is, Google shit. I might do some videos about these types of things pretty soon because I'm very much so into energies. I'm into sages. I'm into stones. One of these necklaces is a third eye chakra. The other one is a throat chakra. I got stones behind me. I have oracle cards. I have tarot cards. Like, I'm a fucking full-blown Scorpio. Okay. I know all Scorpios don't do this, but the Scorpios that are like me that do this, like, we are like deep into this shit. And, you know, vibes are very, very serious to me. And when energy is off, I always know something is wrong. And I googled it, and child, we are in retrograde. I was like, whoo, I knew something was off. Every retrograde, people start driving real crazy. Like, real crazy. But yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. As always, remember to be your own vibe and kick all the trash ones to the side. Like, the fuck? That shit's heavy.